wait times are going to get longer. Hey guys, welcome back to Nurse Catherine here. Thanks for tuning into my channel. Today I want to talk about COVID-19 and my nurses cry about COVID-19 and what I think of these masks, the excessive amount of toilet paper, and the excessive amount of hand wash. But not only do I want to speak to that, I want to speak to the impact this is having on the healthcare system, especially in hospitals. Let's start with the masks. These N95 masks that everybody seems to be taking off the shelves, buying on Amazon, and wearing them, putting them on their faces, and thinking that's actually going to do something. So I will tell you, in the hospital, these N95 masks you actually have to be fitted for. There are two kinds we use. We use this and another one called the duckbill. I will tell you, this mask does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. Particulates actually still can get through this because it doesn't fit me correctly. So, to be honest, wearing an N95 mask out in public, like I have been seeing all over the media, and even in my hometown where we don't even have a case of COVID-19 yet, might not do anything for you if you have not been fitted for a mask. And I think a huge part to this is the lack of education from a government standpoint also, and then just those who work in disaster preparedness and are preparing our communities, or even a lack from us nurses at the hospital of education that we're giving to you all, because this kind of stuff, people buying mass quantities of this, is only taking away from us healthcare providers from being able to do our job to keep ourselves safe, not only ourselves, but also the other patients in the hospital and our families. Now let's talk about the toilet paper crisis that we're having. So here in America, not many people are prepared for something that will quarantine you for this long. And I understand that it's only 14 days of what I'm still seeing from the CDC and from WHO, that it's still only 14 days. You don't need 30 rolls of toilet paper for 2 weeks. So I think there's also a lack of education here, and I think that is on our part a failure in the healthcare field. And before we start talking about the real crisis, let's just touch on the topic of hand soap and the mass quantities of this being bought in hand sanitizer. I see memes going around all the time saying, have people just not been washing their hands? What is going on? Why is everybody taking the hand soap? Obviously, it's a good idea to wash your hands. I don't know why people are going out and buying like all the hand soap. You don't need a ton of hand soap for 14 days or hand sanitizer because you're buying your neighbors out as well. And you do have to be concerned about your neighbor, because if your neighbor can't protect them and you're still in contact with them, you're probably going to get it if you're still in close contact with your neighbors and your friends and your family, because you now have all the hand soap at your house and they have none. And now it's time for my nurses cry that I just don't think that the community is quite understanding how this is affecting emergency rooms, as I work in a very, very busy emergency room, seeing on an average currently right now about 400 patients in a 24-hour time. And with the chaos that this virus has caused, this is only going to up those numbers. And I will tell you, with that being said, wait times are going to get longer, which have already been long enough. Just leaving the other day at work, I saw there was a patient waiting for 6 hours in the waiting room because we just don't have enough space for more influx of patients, because guess what? Now here in Pennsylvania, all schools are shut down. Well, if kids can't go to school, parents probably can't always go to work either, so then you have call-offs. When you have call-offs, you are short-staffed. When you are short-staffed, you can't take care of as many patients anymore. And I think this is something that the community is going to need to realize, that coming to the emergency room for something that's not actually causing you a problem, like a sneeze or something like that, that's not life-threatening, malicious to yourself, something like that, is not priority, I will say, at the emergency room. But on the other hand, we are still trying to figure this out as a hospital system. I just got an email yesterday. I saw that our hospital now is limiting 1 visitor per patient. And this is why I think this has become so chaotic, because nobody knows what to do. No one has ever seen this before. And I see stuff like, oh, just treat it like the flu, just treat it like the flu. But we can't treat it like the flu because we know what to do with the flu. We don't know what to do with something that is spreading this rampant and this fast and is just totally taking over entire countries and causing chaos like this. So my nurse's cry to you is be patient with your hospital staff, please. Be patient with us, because not only are you scared, but we are on the front lines. We, hospital staff, we are trying our very, very best to take care of your family and your friends, and maybe even you. And we're not sure what that looks like right now. We know how to care for the symptoms, but we ourselves are also being exposed day in and day out to this as well. We want to keep our family safe. We want to keep our children safe. We want to keep our parents safe as well, our cousins, our brothers, our sisters. And we're not going to have all the answers. And I know that is something that's big in the healthcare system, is that people come in, they want their answers right away. That is not going to be the case. We don't have all the answers because we don't know everything about this virus. Which leads me to my next point of, when you do visit a family member who may have this, or you're trying to call for an update, just know we might not be able to give you an update, especially over the phone, following HIPAA regulations, and then also just in general, we might not have an update for you. So just please be cordial with us. Please be patient with us, and do not yell at us, because that is just further inhibiting us from doing our jobs and putting that much more emotional stress on the healthcare workers who are trying so hard to care for your family and your neighbors. That is my nurse's cry to you all. That is my perspective on this COVID-19 virus. I cannot speak for all the nurses. I cannot give you medical advice, but I am just simply saying, be patient with us, and please just remember the verse, John 14:27, that says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." I'm anxious to see what these next 2 weeks, even this next week, is going to bring amongst COVID-19 and our society's reaction to what the plans are. Is everything going to be shut down? I know my church was already canceled, and it's just going to be very interesting. And I think we all need to take a step back and realize that no, we are not going to have the answers, and we just have to come together as a community and figure this out together. See you later, guys. Wash your hands and stay away from crowds.